Hi, Charlie here. It's official, TikTok is now the most popular app in the world. In recent years, many new influencers have risen to fame on the app. Many of these influencers do things like lip syncing and dancing. Just pretty normal stuff that any TikToker would do. But other TikTokers have taken a more dark path. Some TikTok users have done the unthinkable. But the surprising part is what happened after they did these crimes. You may think they'd have been cancelled and everyone would have been against them, but no. They actually seem to get more support and more followers for doing these terrible crimes. So with that being said, let's look at some TikTokers who committed horrible crimes. Claire Miller. Claire Miller is a 14-year-old girl. She lived a pretty normal life in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. She lived with her sister, Helen. Helen was Claire's older sister, but despite her being older, Claire looked after Helen a lot. You see, Helen had a condition known as cerebral palsy. This meant that she could not speak and was also wheelchair-bound too. She basically could not speak or move, so Claire had to help her out quite a lot. Helen was 19, 5 years older than Claire. But on the 22nd of February 2021, Helen's life was cut short. Not by her disease, but instead by her own little sister. At 1 AM, cops were called to their home. They arrived 5 minutes later and saw something that was straight out of a horror movie. Claire was standing outside the house covered in blood. She repeatedly said to the officers, "I stabbed my sister." Cops then went into the house and found Helen Miller. There was a bloody pillow over Helen's face. When a cop moved the pillow, they saw something terrible. There was a large knife in Helen's neck. Paramedics were called to the scene, but by that time it was too late and Helen was not alive. It really does seem like something from a horror movie. Prior to doing the unspeakable, Claire was a fairly popular TikTok user. She went by the name Spirits and Such Consulting. She had over 22,000 followers and over 1 million likes. She would do dancing and lip syncing, pretty normal TikTok content. But when news broke about what Claire did to her sister, her TikTok exploded. She quickly gained thousands of new followers, and some comments even appeared to be supporting Claire. That is seriously messed up considering what she did to her own sister. But eventually TikTok did take her page down. But before TikTok removed her page, she had gained an additional 32,000 followers. It's so creepy, people would follow and support a killer. Prior to doing what she did, Claire was doing some very scary things. She believed she was a witch. She would draw witchcraft-related things on her walls. And one of her friends even said Claire experienced homicidal thoughts. But for some reason her friend did nothing about this. But the one question on everyone's mind is why on earth would Claire do this? What would drive a 14-year-old girl to take someone's life, much less the life of her own sister? Well, as of now, we simply don't know. If cops do know, then they have not disclosed it to the public just yet. But there are various theories which to me do make sense. Many believe that she was jealous of all of the attention Helen got. Because of Helen's disability, it seemed she got more attention than Claire, and Claire felt she was being pushed to the side. And others speculated that Claire may be worried about the financial strain on her parents. Helen having cerebral palsy was very expensive. They had to pay for full-time care, and lots of medical equipment too. So maybe Claire thought that it was a good idea to take her sister's life. That way her parents would not be so strained financially. Of course, this is a sick way to think, but clearly Claire was not in her right mind when she did this. It's very likely she may have been experiencing some form of psychosis. That would make sense as her friend said she did experience homicidal thoughts. Despite the fact that Claire is only 14 years old, she will be tried as an adult. That's because in Pennsylvania, if you commit first-degree murder, you are tried as an adult no matter what your age is. Right now, Claire is being held in an adult female prison. Right now, she is seeking an insanity defense. Also in Pennsylvania, first-degree murder means you go to jail for life. That is, unless the death penalty comes into play. She will never be released from prison. But do you think that's fair considering she took Helen's life? What she did really is terrible. But if she really is insane, she needs to be given mental help. And then maybe later she could be released from prison. Right now, the trial is still ongoing, and we'll simply have to wait and see what happens. Isabella Guzman. This girl may look fairly innocent, but she is one of the most evil people I think I've ever heard of. Isabella Guzman lived in Colorado. She lived with her mother Yeonmi Hoy and her stepfather Ryan Hoy. Isabella and her mother did not get on well. They would argue all the time. It got so bad this sometimes led to Isabella being told to live with her real father some of the time, despite the fact that Isabella's mother had custody. But most of the time Isabella would live with her mother and stepfather. Isabella was a bit of a problem child. She would get in a lot of trouble at school, and she would always disrespect her mother and stepfather. It seems the only person she respected was her real dad. Isabella had a boyfriend who would often come over, but he was not allowed to come to the house. So Isabella basically snuck him in and out of the house without her mother knowing. But her neighbors kept seeing this happen. They would see her boyfriend jumping out of the window and running away whenever her mother came home. And one day her neighbors basically snitched to her mum. This made Isabella's mother furious and they got into a big argument. Isabella threatened to harm her mother and even said the words, "You will pay." Isabella's mom was so scared that she called the cops. The police came to the house and spoke to Isabella, but they deemed there was no threat, so they left. Eventually, things got so bad, Isabella's mom asked her real dad to talk to her. Isabella's real dad obliged and tried to calm her down, and apparently Isabella took this well and agreed. But clearly this was not the case, because about a week later, Isabella did the unthinkable. Isabella's mother had been out at work all day at her design studio, which by the way was called Bella's, as a tribute to her daughter. Her mother got home and went inside the house, but Isabella was already home waiting for her. Isabella's mother opened the door and then went to use the bathroom, but Isabella came in after her with a knife. Isabella then took her mother's life using a knife and a baseball bat. Isabella's stepdad heard her mother's screams. He ran upstairs, but it was too late. All he saw was Isabella standing there in the dark with a knife. Isabella's stepdad ran downstairs to call 911. Meanwhile, Isabella ran away. She fled on foot, and a massive manhunt was launched to find Isabella. Eventually, cops patrolling the local area saw a girl with a shopping bag. They immediately recognized her as Isabella. Cops arrested Isabella immediately. Isabella was taken to court and pleaded insanity. Isabella had used a knife on her mother 151 times. I'm not sure how you could do that to your own mother, but clearly Isabella is incredibly evil. No one could ever support this behavior, right? Well, that is where you would be wrong. Videos of her disrespectful behavior in court have gone viral on TikTok. In the background, the song Sweet But Psycho plays. Many people saw her as very attractive and cute. Some of the comments even said that they liked the fact she was a bad girl. People were literally making fan cams of this criminal. Girls even began copying her movements and mimicking the things she was doing in court. They were riding the trend and trying to get a lot of followers for themselves. It's so strange that someone so evil would get such popularity on TikTok. Someone who brutally took the life of her own mother literally has stans on TikTok. In recent years, Isabella has done interviews. She said that she was insane when she did what she did, but now she says she's normal. I don't know about you, but I find that hard to believe. But I find it even more hard to believe that this girl has fans online. Just because someone may seem cute and innocent doesn't mean they actually are, and they could be capable of doing unspeakable things. Yandere Freak. One of the most popular genres on TikTok are cosplay videos. People dress up as their favorite characters from movies and anime, and some of these cosplay accounts get millions of views and followers. One of these people was Marianne Oliver Snow, better known by her TikTok name Yandere Freak, but I'll call her Mary for the purposes of this video. Mary had 1.6 million followers on TikTok and was verified too. But in October of 2021, Mary took the life of her best friend. One night, Mary was watching the TV show Gotham with her best friend Helen Hastings. But during the show, Mary pulled out a firearm and took Helen's life. After doing this, Mary was brought in by the police. But Mary said it was an accident, so they let her go. 3 days after taking the life of her best friend, Mary posted another TikTok. She told fans she was sorry for taking a quick break. It's so creepy that she ended her best friend's life, took 3 days off to be interrogated by police, and then 3 days later she was back on TikTok like, "Hey guys, I'm back." It just makes these TikToks really creepy in hindsight. Of course, no one watching the TikTok at the time knew what she had done, but her other social media accounts are still up, and the comments are filled with support. It's really creepy that people still support this girl after what she did. I have no idea how people can really support Mary after she took the life of Helen Hastings. But later on, Helen's TikTok account was deleted. And this case remains very confusing. Mary maintains it was an accident, but I'm not sure how you accidentally shoot someone in the head with a firearm. If Mary is convicted, she will likely spend life in prison. But right now the investigation and trial is still ongoing. When there's an update, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Jin Kidd. Jin Kidd is a very big TikTok user. He racked up around 956,000 followers. He did comedic impressions of characters like Tony Montana, 6ix9ine, and also characters from the video game Skyrim. He also has a very big Instagram profile too. But in October of 2021, he was arrested. Cops were called to his apartment in San Diego. There they found the body of his wife named Anna, and the body of her friend named Rayburn. Police say that Jin Kidd, whose real name is Ali Nasir Abulaban, took their lives. Jin Kidd is currently being held in jail without bail. And surprisingly, his TikTok account is still up. His wife Anna had been shot once, and her friend Baron had been shot 3 times. You see, Anna and Baron had actually been in a romantic relationship, and Anna had kicked Ali out of her house weeks before. But Ali later returned and vandalized the apartment. He also installed an app on their daughter's phone which allowed him to hear what was going on inside the apartment. Obviously, this is a big red flag as it is. It's very creepy and controlling behavior. It's like this guy completely snapped and went insane. Of course, the fact that his girlfriend had an affair was bad, but that is still no excuse for what Jin Kidd did. Right now, the trial is ongoing. I'll probably be posting some updates on my Snapchat, so keep an eye out. But if Jin Kidd is convicted, he will go to prison for the rest of his life. Rightly so, in my opinion. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below which TikToker was the most unsettling. If you guys want some more videos, then check out my second channel for shorts. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like rating if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe. I've been Charlie, and I'll see you guys in the next video.